Welcome to Brave New History. Today, the mysteries of Abraxas, one of the most enigmatic figures in all of Gnosticism, are brought to light. This deity holds a place within religious history that is quite strange, a connection between divinity and philosophical thought. Let's look at the origin, symbolism, and significance of Abraxas. Abraxas refers back to early Gnostic traditions, an esoteric branch of early Christianity that surfaced in the initial centuries AD. The Gnostics deal with secret knowledge, or gnosis, capable of salvation. Abraxas, having a human body and a rooster's head, holding a whip and a shield, shows complicated symbolism reflecting the Gnostic worldview. Gnosticism, an ancient religious movement, centers on the pursuit of gnosis, or direct mystical knowledge of the divine. This knowledge transcends ordinary understanding and connects the soul to the true, ineffable God, distinct from the creator of the material world. Gnosticism encompasses various sects and teachings, but all share core themes of duality, redemption, and the hidden divine spark within humanity. At the heart of Gnostic belief is the concept of the Monad, the supreme unknowable God. This being is utterly transcendent, beyond comprehension, and source of all spiritual existence. From the Monad emanates a series of divine beings called aeons, who inhabit the pleroma, or fullness, a realm of pure light and spirit. The aeons represent various aspects of the divine, such as wisdom, truth, and love. One of the central figures in Gnostic mythology is Sophia, the aeon of wisdom. Sophia's journey is pivotal to the Gnostic narrative. In her quest to know the unknowable God, Sophia falls from the pleroma, creating a rupture that gives birth to the material world and its flawed creator, the demiurge. The demiurge, often equated with the God of the Old Testament, is seen as an ignorant and arrogant being who traps the divine spark within the physical realm. This divine spark, or pneuma, is believed to reside within every human being. It is the true essence of a person, a fragment of the divine light trapped in a corrupt and illusory world. The Gnostics' goal is to awaken this spark through gnosis, recognizing their true nature and returning to the pleroma. This process of awakening involves inner reflection, spiritual practices, and the guidance of divine emissaries. Jesus Christ is a central figure in many Gnostic sects, but his role differs significantly from Orthodox Christianity. In Gnosticism, Jesus is seen as a revealer and liberator, a divine being who descends from the pleroma to impart secret knowledge and awaken the divine spark within humanity. His teachings focus on revealing the true nature of the self and the cosmos, guiding souls back to the divine realm. The Gnostic view of the material world is inherently dualistic. The physical realm, created by the demiurge, is seen as a place of darkness, ignorance, and suffering. In contrast, the spiritual realm of the pleroma represents light, knowledge, and true existence. This duality underscores the Gnostic belief in the need for liberation from the material world and return to the divine source. The name Abraxas may be of Greek or even earlier origin and is numerically meaningful. The numerical values of the Greek characters in the name Abraxas amount to 365, the days of the year, an expression of cyclic time and cosmos. Abraxas also appears in the Greek magical papyri, which is a book of ancient spells, formulas, hymns, and rituals regarding magical and religious practices of the time in Greco-Roman Egypt. The Greek magical papyri, a collection of ancient texts, provide a fascinating glimpse into the world of magic and mysticism in Greco-Roman Egypt. These papyri, dating from the 2nd century BCE to the 5th century CE, contain a diverse array of spells, rituals, and invocations. They blend Greek, Egyptian, and other Near Eastern traditions, reflecting the rich cultural interchange of the time. One of the primary themes in the Greek magical papyri is the invocation of deities and supernatural forces. Practitioners sought the favor of gods and spirits for various purposes, from healing and protection to love and vengeance. These texts often include detailed instructions for rituals, specifying the materials, gestures, and words required to summon these powerful beings. For example, a common type of spell involves invoking the god Hermes, who was associated with communication and travel. A practitioner might recite an elaborate prayer, lighting incense and offering libations, to seek Hermes' assistance in delivering a message or ensuring safe passage. The invocation would include epithets and praises, emphasizing the god's attributes and past deeds to gain his favor. Another prominent feature of the Greek magical papyri is the use of voces magicae, or magical words. These are often nonsensical or foreign-sounding words believed to possess intrinsic power. The exact meaning of these words was less important than their perceived ability to influence supernatural forces. They were often repeated multiple times, combined with gestures and offerings to amplify their effect. The papyri also reveal the importance of astrology and numerology in ancient magic. Practitioners would time their rituals according to the positions of the stars and planets, believing that celestial alignments could enhance the efficacy of their spells. Certain numbers and numerical patterns were considered auspicious and were incorporated into magical formulas and amulets. One striking example is the use of the abracadabra formula. The word abracadabra is written in the form of a triangle, with one less letter on each subsequent line until only the final A remains. This arrangement was thought to gradually diminish illness or misfortune, banishing it from the practitioner's life. The Greek magical papyri also contain numerous love spells and charms, reflecting the human desire for affection and companionship. These spells often involved creating figurines or using personal items belonging to the object of desire. By performing specific rituals and reciting the appropriate incantations, practitioners believed they could influence the emotions and actions of others. Protection and healing spells are another significant component of these texts. Amulets inscribed with magical symbols and words were commonly used to ward off evil spirits and illness. Rituals for healing often invoked gods associated with health, such as Asclepius, and included the use of herbs, stones, and other natural materials believed to have curative properties. The Greek magical papyri also reflect the syncretism of religious and magical practices. They blend Greek, Egyptian, Jewish, and other traditions, creating a unique fusion of beliefs and techniques. This syncretism is evident in the frequent invocation of gods from different pantheons within the same spell, illustrating the interconnectedness of ancient religious practices. Abraxas was portrayed with a head of a rooster, signifying the coming of a new day, enlightenment, and vigilance. The human torso signifies the link between the divine and the mortal, while the serpent legs symbolize wisdom and the transformative power of knowledge. The whip and shield bring out his role as a protector and guide in the spiritual journey. Some scholars believe that the elements of the rooster, man, and serpent are symbolic of the mind, body, and spirit. The rooster might be representative of the rising of the mind, the human torso, the earthly experience, and the serpent legs, the progress of the spirit toward enlightenment. Some suggest the rooster head might depict the mythological giant primordial bird Ziz of Jewish legend, and the serpent legs to Leviathan, a primordial sea serpent. The Ziz, a mythical bird from Jewish legend, holds a significant place in ancient lore. It is described as a giant, primordial creature, often compared to the roc from Arabian mythology or the thunderbird in Native American tales. The Ziz is one of the three great beasts created by God, alongside Behemoth, the land monster, and Leviathan, the sea serpent. In the Talmud, the Ziz is portrayed as a bird of enormous size and strength. Its wingspan is said to be so vast that it can block out the sun, plunging the earth into darkness. The Ziz is also believed to be capable of standing in the depths of the ocean, with its head reaching the sky. This grandeur signifies the immense power and majesty of divine creation. One of the most famous stories about the Ziz involves its role in protecting the world. It is said that during a period of intense heat, the Ziz spread its wings to shield the earth from the sun's scorching rays. This act of protection underscores the bird's benevolent nature and its purpose in maintaining the balance of nature. In some interpretations, the Ziz is linked to the concept of cosmic harmony. Its existence is seen as a symbol of God's omnipotence and the meticulous order of creation. The Ziz, along with Behemoth and Leviathan, represents different realms of the natural world, each playing a crucial role in sustaining life on Earth. The Ziz also appears in various Jewish texts and folklore. In the Midrash, it is mentioned as a creature that will be served at the banquet for the righteous in the world to come. This feast, featuring the flesh of Behemoth, Leviathan, and the Ziz, signifies the ultimate triumph of good over evil and the fulfillment of divine prophecy. Despite its terrifying appearance and immense power, the Ziz is depicted as a guardian and protector. Its role in Jewish legend is not one of destruction, but of preservation and balance. The Ziz serves as a reminder of the awe-inspiring wonders of creation and the divine plan that governs the universe. Leviathan, a powerful and fearsome creature, features prominently in various mythologies and religious texts. In the Hebrew Bible, Leviathan is depicted as a monstrous sea serpent, symbolizing chaos and destruction. This primordial beast is mentioned in several passages, most notably in the Book of Job, Psalms, and Isaiah, where it is portrayed as a formidable adversary of God. In the Book of Job, Leviathan is described in detail as a creature of immense strength and terrifying appearance. God challenges Job to consider the might of Leviathan, emphasizing that no human can hope to subdue or tame it. The description includes vivid imagery. Its scales are its pride, shut up together as with a close seal. Its breath kindles coals, and a flame goes out of its mouth. This portrayal underscores the creature's invincibility and the futility of human efforts against it, highlighting the grandeur and omnipotence of God in contrast to human limitations. Leviathan's symbolism extends beyond its physical attributes. It represents the chaotic forces of the sea, an uncontrollable and unpredictable element of nature. In ancient Near Eastern mythology, sea monsters like Leviathan were often seen as embodiments of primordial chaos, opposed to the order established by the gods. By defeating Leviathan, God demonstrates his dominion over chaos and his ability to impose order on creation. In the Psalms, Leviathan is mentioned as part of the natural world created by God. Psalm 104:26 refers to Leviathan as a creature formed to frolic in the sea, illustrating the creature's role within the broader tapestry of God's creation. Here, Leviathan is not an adversary, but a testament to the diversity and wonder of the natural world, emphasizing the theme of God's sovereignty over all life. Isaiah 27:1 prophesies the ultimate defeat of Leviathan, symbolizing the triumph of good over evil. In this eschatological vision, Leviathan is described as the fleeing serpent and the twisted serpent, whom the Lord will punish with his great and mighty sword. This passage reflects the hope for a future in which chaos and evil are vanquished and divine order is fully restored. Leviathan also appears in later Jewish apocalyptic literature and rabbinic traditions. In these texts, the creature is often linked to eschatological themes and the end of days. One famous midrashic tale envisions a grand banquet for the righteous in the world to come, where Leviathan will be served as a feast. This story symbolizes the ultimate victory over chaos and the celebration of divine justice and providence. The influence of Leviathan extends beyond Jewish tradition. In Christian eschatology, Leviathan is sometimes associated with Satan or the Antichrist, representing the forces of evil that will be defeated at the end of time. The Book of Revelation draws on imagery similar to that of Leviathan in describing the great beast emerging from the sea, signifying a primordial battle between good and evil. In early writings of the heresiologists, Abraxas makes an appearance. Irenaeus, for instance, in his Against Heresies, refers to Gnostic sects which adored Abraxas. He described such groups as impostors who produce fantastic and absurd myths, with Abraxas as their god. Tertullian, in Prescription Against Heretics, criticizes followers of Abraxas. The followers of Abraxas, lost in their speculations, fail to see the true light of Christ, entangling themselves in the darkness of falsehood. He saw Gnostic practices as being an entirely misleading fate on the part of their spiritual journeys. While the Gnostic ideas, including those about Abraxas, were branded heretical, the very same ideas must have influenced theological debates, as well as the development of Christian doctrine. This would make more sense in light of the early Christian faith being of diversity and complexity. Many of the archaeological findings have depicted Abraxas through the artifacts. Most common among them were gems, amulets, and stones that had inscriptions. They carry a name, Abraxas stones, and were protective talismans, or demonstrated the belief in magic. The sheer volume of such amulets suggests that Abraxas was an important concept, both within the microcosm of the individual and within the cultural diversity of the broader religions. These artifacts shed some light on the daily life and religious customs of ancient Gnostic adherents, but also highlight the confluence of cultural and religious traditions in the world of the ancient Mediterranean. Modern scholars have treated the Abraxas amulet with great interest and have given diverse interpretations to its meaning. Some consider Abraxas as a symbol of the unification of different religious and philosophical traditions, while others see it as an emblem of the ultimate reality beyond human grasp. Scholars like Carl Jung moved forward to probe the psychological dimensions of Abraxas to the level of an archetypal self that synthesizes both conscious and unconscious elements. The study by Jung reveals one of the continuing qualities of Abraxas in terms of understanding the human psyche and spiritual experience. Some go even so far as to suggest that Abraxas is Mithras himself, the notoriously Byzantine iconographic god of the Roman mystery religion and other dualistic themes. Others go on to theorize that Abraxas could, after all, be meant to presage, perhaps even satanically parody, the Christ figure. Presage this confluence of things divine and things human. In other words, a figure on the very verge of spiritual enlightenment. In order to further understand Abraxas, it is crucial to dig deeper into its comparative symbolism and the way it corresponds with other religious or mythological figures. The rooster's head may allude instead to the ziz, the enormous bird of Jewish legend, which is said to possess both defensive and illuminatory qualities. Alternatively, it may represent the crowing of a rooster in Peter's prophecy of denial through human error preparing the path for salvation. The figure of a soldier-like man, whipping, could be identified with Jesus' act of cleaning the temple in the context of spiritual purification. It signifies the elimination of corruption and restoration of sacredness. The serpent legs could represent Leviathan, the primordial sea serpent in Jewish myth representing chaos and change. Within a Christian frame, the raised serpent of Moses in the wilderness is a type of salvation and healing, indicative that Abraxas embodies the very ordeal and consummation of one's soul. Now, comparing this to the intriguing similarities between Abraxas and the Archangel Michael. The Archangel Michael is often portrayed as a warrior standing upon a serpent, emblematic of his victory over evil. This image connects to the form of Abraxas, in that it depicts him as a lordly form, towering over legs of serpents. By tradition, the Archangel Michael is a warrior angel who leads hosts in battle against the forces of darkness. So too does Abraxas with his whip and shield, as he describes the protector and guide on the spiritual journey while negotiating the light and dark within dualities. The serpent in Christian iconography would be emblematic of either Satan or evil, so that Michael's defeat over it expresses the final victory of good over evil. In Gnostic tradition, one might view Abraxas's serpent legs as containing within the concepts of knowledge of good and evil, wisdom, and transformation. Think of the biblical story about Michael fighting the dragon from the book of Revelation. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. This story reflects the battle of light and darkness, the central theme of Gnostic thought and the symbolism of Abraxas. In addition, just as Michael intercedes and protects, so does Abraxas mediate between divine and mortal concerns. Both are entities situated on the borderline of spiritual and earthly territories, leading over to light and deliverance. A figure representing the depth and complication of the Gnostic tradition, Abraxas's symbolism, its appearances throughout ancient texts, the effect it had on early Christian thought, and how scholars have related to it since, is proof of how meaningful it has been in religious history. We hope that this will open up the enigmatic nature of Abraxas and its part within the general context of beliefs. Thanks for watching Brave New History. If you liked this episode, smash that like button, subscribe, and make sure to share it far and wide with people you think would enjoy it. Also, always watch for more deep dives into religious history and textual criticism. Until next time, seek the truth.